Heed my warning. If you're happy with polymer guns and you want to train up like everybody else and you want to run like everybody else, don't touch one of these pistols. Don't grab a CZ75D P01, any of these aluminum framed double action, single action pistols, because if you touch one, you're probably, there's a 75-80% chance that you're going to want to buy it, and then you're going to end up having to retrain yourself. You're going to be an odd duck like me. Today, thank you for watching Guns and Watches. I'm reviewing my main squeeze. This has been my main carry piece since 2019. In fact, 2019 is about when I turned the corner on buying pistols because of this darn gun. It is that good, and I kind of lost my desire for buying everything once I got this pistol. Backstory is a friend of mine, was a very eccentric friend of mine, was buying up everything that some YouTube guy was reviewing. He was buying every gun. He seemed like he was buying a gun a week. I don't know where this guy got all his money. And he bought this pistol and a bunch of other CZ pistols. He had Shadows. He had all sorts of CZ pistols. He couldn't hit with this one. And he wanted me to shoot it so bad. And one day he puts it in my hand in a parking lot, and I'm like, why did you do that? This gun feels so much better than what I was carrying, what I was using. And I love polymer pistols. We have polymer pistols all over the house. If you like polymer pistols, you're in good company, because I do too. I did not intend to go down this road. And he took me to the range, and I'm just bullseyeing with this thing right and left at 25 yards with a compact pistol. This is a 3.9-inch barrel, which is 10 centimeters, and 14 rounds in the mag standard. You can get 15 if you go with Medgar. Very compact pistol that shoots like a big dog, and really just couldn't stop shooting it, either hand. And now I'm going to go into the review and tell you all about it. Very different from your polymer pistols, but it's definitely a step above, with an aluminum frame and stainless steel slide that rides inside of that frame. So here's the 75D Compact made by CZ. This is an aluminum framed semi-automatic pistol with a double action is your first shot, single action thereafter. Has no safety. It has a decocker, a very comfortable weapon in your hand. It is not that heavy. It's a little bit thicker than what you'd be accustomed to, but it is machined to exacting tolerances with a finish that you can't actually believe until you see it in person. The frame, again, is made out of aluminum with some kind of a finish on it that simply won't wear off. It has, this gun was manufactured in 2014. It came to me secondhand in 2019, and as you'll see in the close-up photos, does not look that old at all. It's got about, I want to say, 10,000 rounds through it. The slide is stainless steel, and it is also very well used and not a lot of wear showing on it whatsoever. The sights are tritium aftermarket. I think they're Trigicon. It came to me that way, and I'm very happy it did, because if it didn't, it would have been soon. The slide, you'll notice, runs inside of the frame. And what that does is it brings the mass of the slide down a lot. That causes your recoil and your flip to go away, not go away, but go way down from what you're accustomed to. Most polymer pistols, which you'll see me give a comparison here in a minute, polymer pistols, very light frame with a very heavy slide. This is an aluminum frame, so it's got more weight and girth to it, with a slide that's not as big as a polymer slide, and it rides inside the rails, so it has less mass coming back at you. And the internet says that the barrel tilts on this gun, but I don't believe it does. And you'll see when I turn the gun around that there's no oval on the front of the slide for the barrel to tilt up. So I don't believe the barrel actually tilts, even though the internet says that this is a tilting one. And I do show you the difference with my comparison pistols of an FMP 45, where you could see the tilt plain as day when you rack the slide back. So with very little tilt or no tilt and a much less mass to the slide, that recoil and muzzle flip goes away a lot. So a lot of people with the polymer guns are drilling holes in their slide and drilling holes in their barrels in order to port them to get rid of the muzzle flip. Well, you could just forget all that and buy a gun designed not to do that. So you could see here that the barrel is actually tilted up, which is a very common action. Almost all polymer pistols do that, if not all of them, which is to make the feed ramp tilt down to help with feeding. What that does is it throws the barrel up when the slide comes back and gives you lots of muzzle flip, especially on a polymer pistol, which doesn't have a lot of mass in the lower half of it to begin with. So the CZ75D Compact is actually going to stay on target a lot better. It's going to have a lot less recoil, a lot less muzzle flip, which is going to help you with your follow-up shots. It's going to help with your accuracy right out of the gate. The real steel trigger, if you haven't fired a real steel trigger, because most people, millions of people, learned and shoot just polymer guns now, you don't actually appreciate what that feels like. So a real steel trigger with a real single action external hammer and a lot less muzzle flip and a lot less recoil, you're going to get a lot better accuracy out of your experience. The grooves and the machining of this frame and this slide are such a better product that you can't really appreciate it unless you touch it. The chamfers, the way it feels in your hand is as if it was made for it. And it's designed, even in the manual, it says it's designed for you to just grab it and shoot without aiming. I know that sounds crazy, but that's how a lot of us learned how to shoot, because you should be able to just stick your hand out and pull the trigger and hit whatever is 30 feet in front of you without looking at it. There's a weak point, is that screw that holds the sides of the stocks on, I can't remember the name of that, but the grips, for lack of a better word, that screw does rust, and it'll sit up against you, and as you sweat, it will actually start to rust, and you notice that I have replacements for it because it rusts out. But those grips are made of a plastic that's like ATV grips or BMX grips, Amy grips, if you remember back in the 80s and 90s, and you just love it. It just stays in your hand so well. The decocker and the slide release are so well machined that you could have a winter glove on and be able to operate this pistol, which is the reason for it. The way it's so well machined that you just, you're holding something special when you have it like that. Now, I shoot ambidextrous. Right there I'm showing you the different actions and how it's single action and double action, and how the decocker will actually bring the hammer down to a half cock position. This is how you disassemble it, is you push the slide stop through the pistol after you align those two lines. You pull it out. That's different from your polymer guns because they usually have a lever. And then once you have it apart, you can see there's aluminum inside there and steel trigger, just so much better than a polymer gun. And now it's very familiar with that flat spring on the guide rod, and then the barrel comes out just like you're absolutely accustomed to. Easy peasy maintenance. Goes back together same way. And then I bonked it to show you that it's all steel and whatnot. That stainless barrel is kind of neat looking too when you see that looking at the front of the gun, which hopefully you're never doing. And there you go. The slide goes back inside. So you do have to put a little bit of oil inside there. And then you align it again. And you put the slide stop back inside the weapon. Snap. And then off to the races you go. Easy peasy field stripping right there. Very handsome weapon. And again, this is a 2014 piece with 10,000 rounds through it. And looks pretty nice. And it's carried all the time. Comes with a stock 14 round magazine, and that rubber on the foot base plate matches the rubber on the stocks, so that you have a uniformity. When I traded up to the Meggar, the floor plate does not match. It's more of a hard plastic, but it gets you one extra round of 15. And then I have two 10-rounders for hunting. In my state, you can't have anything more than 10 rounds on you when you're hunting and for actually going through the states that ban that. So I have the 210 rounders as well. For a holster, you really want to have a holster. You see that dent right there. You want to have a holster if you have this type of gun that rides all the way up the length of the weapon. For your double action only guns, it's really kind of optional because they aren't that serrated and whatever. That's a Falco holster right there. When I found this, that was really the only people that made a holster for a CZ75D Compact. Back then, I didn't know the P01 was the same gun. That's my left-handed IWB holster there from Falco. I have the blue tape on there because it's got my initials. Like I say, I shoot ambidextrously, and I had shoulder surgery a little bit ago, so I had to carry left-handed for about a year. And so that shows you how to use the non-ambidextrous controls. You really don't want ambidextrous controls if you can help it. Because like many, I have ejected some magazines in some embarrassing places when I was carrying ambidextrous controlled weapons because the magazine release is on both sides of the gun and I bonked into something. So here I'm going to open up the case, and guess what? There's your manual. And then, surprise, 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 this gun came with proof of accuracy from the factory. Never seen such a thing before. And it shot less than 2 inches at 25 meters, which is a little longer than 25 yards. And darn it if I didn't rip mine. And you can see that it came with proof of accuracy. So if you have a gun out there, a factory gun that came with proof of accuracy, please let me know in the comments. So while I recommend buying this weapon or anything that CZ makes, just understand you're going to have to retrain yourself if you do that. And that could be a mess. It could be a problem. But if you want to find out how good you are, a real single action pistol that was actually made to be accurate from the factory with proof of accuracy is the way to go. We get a real leather holster, and you can carry this thing all day long, and you'll know that it's never going to have a failure. And I have no idea how to get service on this gun because it ain't ever going to fail. Thanks for watching Guns and Watches. Appreciate you. Please like, subscribe, share, make a crowd. Thank you.